Call the meeting to order at 4:38. Don't see anyone in the waiting room. Yeah, the regular meeting minutes from November 7th.
I can make a motion to accept that.
I'll second that motion. Denise wasn't seated at that time. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Refunds and abatements. Looks like there's two for a total of $690.95. A lot of times, something like this, a car will get turned in, off a lease or something. And there's a refund, tax refund due back to the leasing company. Or it could be property tax for people, I mean, a whole number of things. But the tax collector needs our permission to refund these amounts back to the person or the business. There a motion to approve?
I can make that motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Appointments. We have Economic Development, Ron Schaefer, for a term of December 2nd, 2023 to December 1st, 2028. There a motion to approve Ron back on the Economic Development?
I'll make the motion. Is he on it now?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
2028.
I know.
Does he know that?
We'll find out.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence. I think we'll just maybe add 5A transfer station fee schedule, and maybe 5B Munson House lease. Their motion to do that.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Can you?
Yeah. Yes.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All right, so the fee schedule, this is something, we're seeing an increase in tipping fees. And other costs at the transfer station, and Dave Hart kind of came up with some suggestions to kind of keep up with that. With Mira, with the trash and energy plant going out of business in Hartford. I think it's going to affect all the towns that were not even tied to that plant, which we weren't, thank goodness. But I think we're going to see our tipping fees continue to increase more and more, until they figure out what to do instead of shipping it out of state, out to Pennsylvania or Ohio. So Dave came up with some ideas. You can see where it currently is in the first column, what the costs are. These are fairly modest increases. And again, we're seeing some increases from the haulers in the budget year because of fuel costs that they're getting affected by. So really, like the tires with and without a rim, fairly modest increase there. Then pretty much $5 increases
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
down the line.
This demo was going up 5%.
Yeah. And we're seeing a lot of demo, a lot of brush, because it's really interesting. And we do get some commercial haulers or commercial companies that bring their stuff in, and they're in town.
Right.
And we have to take it, but it is really filling up the bins over there, the roll-offs. So
They're bringing in these vehicles to be demolished?
no, just their waste,
Oh, okay.
whether it's plastics or whatever it is, or organic material too.
Yeah.
So kind of want to just have this, maybe we can think about it and look at it at the next meeting. Maybe we can get Dave here to maybe go over to answer the questions.
When would this go into effect?
Well, we would have to approve it as a board, and then we'd have to hold a public hearing.
Mhm.
Or was it posted in the paper first and then a public hearing?
We have to post it first
Post the
and then the
hearing.
public hearing,
Then have a
5
public
days
hearing.
prior. Yep,
And then it goes into effect like 15 days after the
right.
hearing.
So would you wanna try to get this for the first of the year?
Uh, it's not like, doesn't have to be. I think we're gonna run into holiday problems.
Okay.
But I think our next meeting is the
December 5th.
5th. So we could try to get David here on December 5th, go through this.
Now, do you, I know this is, do you have figures of where we are in the budget and what we spend for transfer station? I
Yeah.
mean, is it,
Let's see.
is it starting to run where it's starting to cost the town? Because, you know, I talked to Dave, one thing, but he says a lot of towns are charging, you know, a couple dollars a bag or whatever. I know we talked about, we did that a couple of years ago, and it really didn't go over good with the town.
Well, we talked about a charge for the permit.
Yes, and I don't know, how do you cut the costs?
Well, one thing we're hoping to do is if we can kick off this food waste composting and really make a really hard go at it. That can be up to 30 to 40% of the weight, the tonnage of what we're hauling out of here. So if you eliminate that, that can really obviously help us a lot.
Right.
A lot of education. And you've seen it with the returnables. People are throwing them in recycling instead of put them in returnables.
And Dave's doing a heck of a job with that, I tell you.
I mean, trying to do everything we can. I think the big push is gonna be the food waste.
Okay,
Cause I see it in my household when I, empty the trash.
oh, yeah,
Yeah, there's pineapple in there, and
Yeah.
there's, the spring mixed salad that goes bad
Yeah.
in 2 days. And things like that.
yeah,
But, I think it's gonna be a lot of education, trying to get people to really jump on board a little bit more with, what they can, not throw out.
But these costs are only specific to these items. I mean, this doesn't seem to be a high volume of activity of these items at our transfer station, is it?
Well, the demo is a very high, volume part of it. Which is most of it right there, the full middle part is all
Right.
about demolition. The brush is something we can talk to them about, we don't charge at all for brush right now. People dump it for free. Fortunately, we're still able to burn it, that may not go too far in the future, depending what DEP does. It may make us get a grinder in and grind it all up. But I think this is a fairly large budget. It's $285,000 a year for the transfer station. And people enjoy it because it's, one of the, we don't have all the offerings that as large other municipalities have, larger municipalities. People enjoy this. They've always enjoyed it without them, costing them out of pocket supposedly. But I think we have to keep up with the times.
plus we do a lot of recycling here.
Yes,
I mean, we do the mattresses, we do the paint,
electronics,
electronics,
Yeah.
I mean, right there,
that's a lot.
that's a lot, yeah.
So, I mean, he's doing good right now on the budget, but it's really hard to tell. I think he might have a better idea, of the costs moving forward in the fiscal year. I mean,
Yeah.
Right now, it says 23%, 24% on recycling. I'm not sure if that's really up to date, for what his actual expenses are, but that's pretty good. Yeah, the rest are just expenses.
Well, I think you're right with the food waste. I mean, I've read articles in the paper. Southbury did a big drive on it.
Yeah.
They had a public meeting. They actually brought the company in. Had a town hall meeting, educate the people. They actually had people at the transfer station with a little tent set up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's probably, I know we talked about it with Dave.
Yeah.
And he was working on, maybe that's the next move.
It is, and right now it's included in our permit with DEP, so, which is nice.
Yeah.
We don't have to go through the whole, jump through the hoops, for a new permit for that. We do have to follow the guidelines.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be a big thing for them. I think what else there was. Oh, yeah. The commercial, businesses in town, a lot of them have their own dumpsters. Well, the town pays to get rid of that trash. Litchfield moved to having all the commercial businesses, including the school system, pay for their own trash removal. The businesses pay for the rental of the container and, a fee from the company, but we end up disposing of all that trash. So we have to kind of take a look at, I think Dave has drafted an ordinance. So maybe at our next meeting, kind of take a look at that too. That would help reduce our costs as well. Yeah, the cost will be borne on, by the person who has the dumpster. Where it probably should be,
That's where it should be.
Yeah,
because a lot of people with dumpsters, sometimes there's not a lot of thought in recycling and,
There's probably no thought to recycling
sometimes.
in a dumpster, yes.
I mean, obviously, there are some that have their cardboard dumpsters and their trash dumpster, but maybe this would make some of the commercial businesses think a little bit more about doing more to recycle.
Mhm.
Reduce our cost. So I think at our next meeting, we'll get Dave in here, we'll talk about these fees and talk about that proposed ordinance.
Okay.
And maybe we'll send that to have the ordinance committee kind of take a look at that maybe before our meeting, so they get some ideas too.
how much of that does that take up a year for us?
As far as costs,
Well, yeah, just,
Dave can bring that in with, he has all the weights and everything. Throughout the year.
but it's significant.
Yeah. Yeah, anyone who's doing like an addition or, any demo job, roof job, they can bring it in and throw it in the dumpster.
Well, I get that. I guess I'm looking at the cars, the pickups and then regular van or minivan. Those are happening too.
Oh, no. This is what that vehicle can hold.
Okay,
That's how you want to
so
charge it.
it's the van that shows up and it's packed full
Packed full.
and that's what he's charging.
Right.
Thank you. It's like, hey, hang on, this is not
And to me, these fees aren't too bad. I mean.
I
it is a
think they're
judgment call, but
crazy low for that. Cause you can get a lot in those,
you'll have people come in with a horse trailer
yeah.
full
Yes,
and dump it.
there was a truck in there last Friday. I don't know what it was, but it was packed with plastic. The farms are cleaning up now.
Yeah.
They're cleaning up all their plastic and it was packed.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had to pay someone to come and remove it, it'd be a lot more than $35, so
Oh, yeah.
that's not a bad price whatsoever.
All right. Anything else on that? So the, 5B, was it? The Munson House. I did talk with Janet, she gave me some information, I think there's still a little question on the insurance.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get what this organization has and have it reviewed by our insurance company to make sure it meets what they would require. We just need to make sure that, if someone falls down, gets hurt, there's some coverage there. If I gave you the lease from Dayton Construction, and if you look in that, it's not gonna mirror what would be required of this organization we're talking about, but there's insurance on page 2 and page 3. I don't believe workman's compensation would be applicable in this situation. What I really think it comes down to is the commercial general liability insurance is what would be required.
Well, that was the question.
Yeah. Obviously, no commercial auto insurance, and I don't believe the umbrella would be part of this either. So it really comes down to commercial liability. and seeing what they would have in place through their company. And if we can make it work, get into this
I
agreement.
think that's what the question was, if they needed some kind of, they call it commercial, they're just calling it general liability.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that was the question, if they needed to get that.
yeah, because I think they have insurance for their officers.
Yes, they were, that was covered, but they weren't sure about, like you said, if somebody falls down.
And I wouldn't say I'm not as worried about the volunteers, obviously I am, that would be helping out there, but it's really the people coming in to receive the services. Want to make sure that we try to limit any exposure with them, try to keep them in their cars or next to their cars or whatever.
I think that's what the plan is.
Let the volunteers do their.
Right.
deal.
So it would basically be liability insurance for any volunteer that's helping out in the building.
Yeah, someone slips and falls.
Right.
It's not gonna be workman's comp, but it'll be general
Right.
liability.
All right, I'll pass that up to Janet, because I know she's been talking with the agent. Because they want to get that going pretty soon.
Maybe we can get their agent to talk with our liaison terminal, so they can have a direct conversation. You know, put the two
Put
together.
the two together, okay.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some way to make it work out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, basically this will pretty much mirror whatever the food pantry will have.
Okay,
With a lot of, the changes of perhaps $1 a year for the lease and I guess what we were hoping they will maintain the inside of the house, and the snow shoveling on the outside, and we'll take care of the driveway, all that stuff.
Yeah.
We'll throw that all in there. And the floor plan will change a little bit. That's attached to the back, second page from the back, I believe on that. I'm gonna try to open up the other storage room. Not the front one, but the one in the rear. For their use.
okay.
I think that was about it. So, and hopefully we can get that handicap ramp going.
Yeah, it looks like somebody was over there working on it.
Yeah, we cleared all the bushes out of the way,
Yeah.
kind of cleared out the grass on the ground. The highway crew did that. Walt has been looking at the deck and talked with Chris Dybel, our building inspector, to make sure we're all in compliance with ADA.
Yeah.
And hopefully get that done before it gets too cold. I did give you the, just for point of information, the interlocal agreement that we have already approved.
Can you go back to the lease,
Sorry.
just for?
Yep.
I know we talked about. If they have in mind a 12-month lease, I thought we were looking at a 3-year lease.
Yeah, whatever we decide, I mean, that works with me, as long as there's a clause in there that should something happen, either with the food pantry or with the town, that there is some escape clause for either party,
Okay,
but with proper notice.
Yeah.
To either party, because,
Okay.
yeah, you can't just close their doors and say, here, you're done.
right,
You know?
right. Well, you can't do that to the public. You really can't do that to the public.
No.
You know, just close the door and say, oh, sorry, we're done.
I think we can find something reasonable,
Okay,
you know,
and the other thing was,
for you.
the proof of the 501(c)(3).
Yeah.
That is gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Right now, they're working with they needed a tax accountant to do the paperwork for them.
Mhm.
So they're applying, they have all the bylaws and everything pretty much done. They just have to get that to the tax accountant,
Mhm.
and she said that's gonna take.
Yeah, it does take time.
The one number they do need is, and I don't know what they call it, but they need a number that they can get fairly quick, so they can open up a checking account.
Yeah,
The EIN.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is.
yeah,
That's not too hard.
No,
No.
the girl said, once she has the
Yeah.
paperwork, she can get that in a few days.
Yeah.
okay,
So once they get that number, they can actually open up a checking account.
My mind's going because the insurance, I don't know that the insurance. You correct me if I'm wrong, obviously, but if there's volunteers, they have to be like identified in some way for the insurance to cover them as a volunteer.
Right.
So whatever they're like, if they have bylaws or they have a list, or they have to sign something that says I'm volunteering. So
Yeah.
that they're covered, otherwise they're not gonna be covered.
Yeah, there should be something in their incorporation documents or something that would identify who's.
Even if they sign in that day, or they have to do something that would say that they're there, so
Right.
that the insurance would cover them as a volunteer.
And they're
otherwise it
there.
wouldn't count.
Proper permission.
Yeah,
Yeah, details definitely have to work out.
Okay.
I think, the conversation with the agent and our insurance company would probably be a good way to go.
Okay.
Get them together. Yeah, I can't remember who our person is now anymore. Kerma.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
I'll have Janet, send me an email or something, just to get the right information.
I think I'll actually be running into that person next week down at the, CCM conference.
Steve Nadeau?
Might still be Steve, yeah. Yeah, we're good and good.
Okay.
Anything else for months in the house? Food pantry?
What
Town, please,
what I'll do is I'll give this to Janet
electric and all.
on the lease. And I'll have her fill out whatever she, make notes of whatever information she has.
Yep.
And then get it back to you.
Yeah, well, Mike can write back and
He can
start
look at it.
putting into the lease. Yeah, Denise did question, about the utilities. We kind of agreed the town would maintain the utilities.
Yeah.
Just hoping that the thermostat stays at a reasonable level
Oh, yeah.
in the winter time and.
Well, we were in there one day last week. And I turned it up to 54. And that house warms up pretty quick. And then once it got to 54, I turned it back to 50. And it holds the heat. It's not like, the old houses where you turn on and the drafts are coming in. So it doesn't take much to heat that house up. It's a real small house.
Yeah, and
54 is
Yeah.
not heat.
No, it's not on
It's air conditioning to me. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
God,
well insulated attic.
that's good.
And I've closed off, like, in that back storage area that the town is using, I closed off most of the vents.
Oh,
heat that
yeah,
area.
that helps.
Except for in the bathroom, so the pipes don't freeze, but the rest of it's like, why are we heating this? It'll maintain a decent temperature anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any more on the lease? In fact, we definitely have some talking to do at our next meeting about this, so. Breeze through it, see what you think.
Okay.
And just for the information, like I said, the interlocal agreement between Litchfield, Morris, Sandy Beach, was already approved. That just kind of lays down how we all work together, with regard to Sandy Beach.
Okay,
And I believe this will be the lease that we are gonna approve. I don't think there'll be any more changes. There were some questions, which was really delayed getting this lease done. We are on an extension right now until the end of the year. But I think those questions have been answered with regards to any commercial activity or dock storage or ski club usage and things like that. White Memorial has looked at all that and they feel comfortable with what's being done there right now, so. So I'll have more at our next meeting about the lease. Maybe we can get that moved forward to the Board of Finance. If we vote on it next time, and then after Board of Finance looks at it, we'll bring it to a town meeting. So I'm hoping, end of January, we might have a town meeting. We have a few things on the list.
I was gonna say, if we can get, the transfer station agreement.
Yeah.
This agreement. Just because, town meetings are tough to,
Yeah,
especially in the winter.
we haven't had one for a while, so it's about time. Anything else? One thing, the the firewood, thing went quite well.
Right.
Went very fast.
Yeah.
I felt Dave Hart handled it very well at his end at the transfer station. Obviously, the highway guys did a great job doing what they did.
Yeah.
I think one person questioned, why did we spend this money to, give away firewood? And we actually save money by doing this. We looked at the cost of hauling all that wood up to Supreme Products in Torrington and then paying the fees to dispose of it, from them. And we saved money by doing this, so it was a good thing.
Good.
And boy, it went fast.
It did, and I tell you what, when I went, I did get a couple loads, and every time I was down there and I was talking with residents, and they were thrilled about it.
Yeah,
They really were thrilled, and it worked out. Dave did an excellent job down there.
Yeah.
Keeping track of everything, and it worked out real nice for the residents of town.
hopefully we can do it again.
Mhm.
A few fuel costs.
So they're starting on the ramp?
Yeah, he kind of tore into the existing deck that's there,
Mhm.
because they had to get raised up to make it flush with the entry into the house for access for wheelchair. But there are some questions for Chris Ibel, our building inspector, just to make sure we're all in compliance. Sent the drawings back a couple times for the architect to revise with regards to the size of the sonotubes and the depth. I think the height of the handrail. I think there was one other thing, but he's adjusted the drawings. And he's like, did it in, 3 hours later, getting with that back to me. So it's been good. Yeah,
Okay.
just hope we can move along and avoid the bad weather.
Yeah. Well, if you go outside today, you know how they say it smells like snow?
Mhm.
Yeah,
It does smell like snow.
Yeah.
cold out there.
It's
Hopefully
like
it's all
54
right.
degrees out there.
I know.
Anything else? Oh, before I forget, one spot of good news. SHR Energy, our solar company that has the option on the property transfer station for the solar array, won the bid. So will be able to start construction in the spring, it looks like. So that's kind of nice, finally. It took forever. Yeah. It's just a matter of the bidding process and the state and everything you have to jump through to get this done, but they won it, so it's good. Nice to see them move forward. Anything else? Motion to adjourn at 5:06.
I'll make that motion.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. This new camera is very interesting.
Yeah.
It captures everybody.
Everybody.